Hello, my name is Hamid. Today I'm working on this Miele dishwasher. The customer's complaint was that the lights would blink on it, the dishwasher would not work, and they were also getting F70 error code. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, and I'll show you what needs to be done here. When I got here the other day, I did a lot of diagnostic on this dishwasher. Finally, I found that this dishwasher was leaking water from this part. It's called pump casing. And if you look at, this is the bottom plate that goes at the bottom of the dishwasher. I found a lot of calcium and water from this plate, from this cap at the bottom. And then the only place that I found where the actual leak was right here, because the sump, this pump casing, there's a hole. That hole is facing this area, and I saw some black debris here. I did not find any leak. If the customer calls for similar issue, sometimes I find water leakage from the hoses, from the spray arm hoses, or from drain hose or anything else. But in this case, the problem was the pump casing, which it was leaking from here. In order to pull the dishwasher out, there's 4 screws on both sides of the dishwasher. One goes here, another goes down, and then there's 2 on the left hand side. And the screws are these that they hold the dishwasher in place. And they're number T20 error code. I mean T20. The screw that you're using is T20 in order to pull these out. After you pull these out, you want to take the kick plate off. This black kick plate goes under the dishwasher, one here, the another one there. And then once you take those off, you want to take these the kick plate holders out. And I got my plastic glides underneath the dishwasher to make sure it doesn't scratch the floor when I pull it out. I also got my blanket. I will be putting the dishwasher on its back. And in order to pull the dishwasher out, you also want to make sure you check your under the sink where the drain hose comes and the water line, also the power. I unplugged it. The drain the drain hose is there. The water line is also here. It's right there. And you need to turn off the water, which I did already. So that's right there. You may want to turn it off. It's off already. And now I'm going to pull the dishwasher out. You can always hold it from this area and slowly pull it out. Brought this blanket here. Before you put the dishwasher on its side, it's very important to disconnect the drain hose from under the sink, from right there. From right there, disconnect it, use a shop vacuum, vacuum all the water out. Also vacuum it from inside, just to be safe. You take the bottom basket out and then you can vacuum it, which I did already the other day. So today I will put the dishwasher on its side and work on it from the bottom. Also have an extra towel in case if it leaks spilled water. To do this job in an easy way, you have to disconnect your drain hose. When working here, disconnecting the hoses, when working in this area, disconnecting the water lines and hoses here. When working here, disconnecting the hoses, you want a paper towel. This is your heater relay. Cover it really good. And then on top of that, you add a towel here. Cover it really good. In case if it leaks water, it's not gonna go in there. The drain hose. The sump hose comes out. There's a little bit of water here, you can see. I have also seen water leakage from the back of these. Actually, it's from the back. If you did not find any leak in the dishwasher, run your hand like this at the back, and also at the back of the bigger hose, you will find some deteriorate the rubber hose, and then you have to replace those. The back one is a little bit hard to pull out, but I can do that. I'll get this ground out. This hose is also out, and now I will disconnect this main wire on the motor. There is a little small clip in here, plastic tab. You can use your nail or use a flat screwdriver, push it in a little bit, and then you can pull this out. Leave it on the side. We also have this pressure switch. This pressure switch is very important to not break those tabs. If you break those tabs, one tab here and then another tab is on the other side, you're gonna need a new one. I keep this in a stock bed just in case if I break it I can replace it, but you have to be very careful with this. There's two ways you can pull this out. One, you stick a flat screwdriver in that area and pry it up and at the same time push it down, or you can just pull the motor out and then you can work on it after that. In order to pull the motor out, I took the screw out already from that side. You put a little bit pressure before, again, just to be on the safe side, discharge the capacitor here. Just pinch it with your needle nose plier. It's discharging it just to be safe. It's not a microwave, but it's still a capacitor, the same thing. And then you have to put a little bit pressure on this back panel. See that? When you put pressure, it comes out. It usually stays like this tight. Put pressure and then pull the motor out at the same time, and the motor will get out from that spot. So here, put pressure and pull it out at the same time. is out. See that flat screwdriver? I put it there a little bit, and now I'm pushing this pressure switch just a little bit out, and then you have to work on it again from other side. There will be a little bit of water here. Again, to be safe, you can always put another extra towel here to fix the leakage, to take care of the leakage. So on the bottom side of the pressure switch, as you can see, we got a little small notch here. Please be honest to your customers. If you see that this rubber is deteriorating here, there's any problem with these rubbers, that means you also have problem with inside of the pressure switch. So just recommend your customers to replace this, because if you don't replace this, you will be going back in the next 1 or 2 months and then replacing another pressure switch. You're charging your customer again for this and your labor. So it's not the honest way to work with these. Be honest up front and tell your customer there's problem. I recommend fixing it, replacing it. If they said yes, do it, you can replace it. It's not a very expensive part. If they said no, we are not going to replace it, then that's up to them. If you get a recall, they're paying again for everything. So the motor is out here now. The motor is out, and now you see a couple of screws here and here and here. Those screws, I want to take all of those out. Again, to be on the safe side, use a marker to line up everything. Put a line here, that way when you reinstall your motor back in the pump casing, you will not make any mistake. And again, the water leakage was coming from this spot, from here, and this spot sets straight. I'll show you where. Right there, that I saw the black rubber deterioration here, some debris, black debris here, and that's why I knew that it's leaking from there. Where the hole is lining up with the motor, just run a line from here. That's all. You're completely safe now. You cannot make mistake. So I'm gonna open this plastic piece from the motor, and in order to do that, the first thing I'm gonna do is I'll take this one out, T20 screw, and in order to take the heater out, you see that the spot here, I want to use a flat screwdriver. I think you need a large flat screwdriver, but you can also use a small one, it doesn't matter. You kind of open it a little bit so the notch is there. With large flat screwdriver, it's more easier. You get full leverage. And now you can lift up the top cover. Here, this comes out. This is your heater. It's a cute heater here. I've never seen these heaters failing. It's a good one. The gasket comes out. You're going to replace it when you replace your pump casing. And now, how do we take this pump casing out? In order to take the pump casing out, you have to hold the motor. There's this piece, you want to hold it, and there's a spot inside. When you turn it, you see that little small spot, you want to hold it with your flat screwdriver. So by turning it, eventually you will see that. Let me see one. Yeah, here I can see it. Stick your flat screwdriver there and hold it tight there, and then at the same time, while you're holding it tight, you're turning this. Let me check. While you're holding that spot with your flat screwdriver tight, hold it tight, and then you're turning this clockwise. This coupling, you're gonna turn it clockwise. You have to put lots of pressure on it. And then keep turning it. This comes out. Leave it there. Now you can pull your screwdriver out, and so it's good here. The next part we're going to do is take this screw out, that screw out. You need a little bit longer extension. Torx number 20. Take your screws out. And then turn it counterclockwise. You hear that? And then you can lift it up. Make sure you check that rubber grommet on the motor itself to make sure you don't have any problem with that. When you're replacing this pump casing, double check this gasket, because if this gasket is bad, then you need a new motor, because you cannot buy this gasket alone. It comes with the motor. This is the motor, and this is the old pump casing. And can you see that damage inside there? That damage, see that rubber deterioration, and there even on the side I got some debris coming. See that? All of that here, all. Okay, so on top of that bottom cover, I saw this kind of debris, and then that's why that's how I knew that the pump casing is leaking water. See that? It's breaking up. See, I got more debris, and I'll show you the new one now. When you receive your new pump casing, it comes as a package. I got this new blower, pump blower. Look at the new one, how nice, shiny looks. There's no debris, garbage, nothing. That black stuff you saw on the old one, you do not have it on this one. It looks beautiful, shiny, brand new. You will also receive these gasket insulations, these gasket grommet. This one is for the pressure switch. If you see these ones being bad in the pressure switch, please replace the pressure switch, which I mentioned before, because if these gaskets are not in good shape, that also tells me that the inside of the pressure hose is also not good. Pressure switch is also not good. You want to replace it as soon as possible. And then of course it also comes with a brand new seal that goes on top here between the motor and this to stop it from leakage. The first thing I'm going to do is I'll replace these two. Just pull it out from here, and here's the new one. Just push it in. This one, push it in. That part is good. Now we are gonna go on this part. You still got a little bit of debris. Clean it, blow on it, clean it really good, and then you can put your motor back in, the pump casing back in. Doesn't go this way. Here, if you remember, I put my lining here, these black lines with the marker. Of course on the new one you don't have that, so face it straight, that little small hole where it was leaking water, face it in front of the motor, and then add your screws back in. And this is screw, and the other screw here. Please do not use a drill if you don't know how much to retight it back in. You can use your hand screwdriver to be safe. Otherwise, if you strip this screw here inside, it's going to cause issues. You don't want that. And now I'll reinstall this back in. You just put it on top here on the motor shaft. Turn it, keep turning it until you feel a little bit of resistance. You see that? It's turning by itself, means the motor is turning. Now you're going to use your flat screwdriver again on the same spot here, right there. And hold it tight in this position. Do not hold it straight like this. You have to kind of hold it a little bit tilted. That way you'll get a good leverage on the motor. So hold it in this position, and then now you can turn this. Okay, it's stopping, and you put extra pressure, put the motor down. Okay, that's good. Same thing. Looks good. Add your new gasket or O-ring. Sits like that. And now, you remember this line. It's facing that side. Give it a little bit snug here. Feel the gasket, feel this to make sure it sits okay. And then this time, to reinstall this back in, you're gonna add your screws first. These number 20 Turks, you add these two screws back in. Do not over tight it. You can tighten it on both sides now. And now, in order to push this back in, you add your screwdriver just on the side of this and tap it with your hand. Also be careful at the bottom of the motor when you're hitting this. You want to make sure you don't damage the customer flooring. Just have a towel, maybe your gloves, you're safe. Again, the reason we are getting this kind of leakage from Miele dishwashers, not only Miele dishwashers or all dishwashers, this is too much soap, because the city water is soft here. You do not need this much. This is too much. It's too strong for the dishwasher. You can use half of this, and then after that you can just buy Miele tabs from Miele, or you can just use half a tablespoon of powder. That's enough. If you keep using soap like this on a soft water, you're gonna have lots of issues. Yeah, now we're gonna reinstall the motor back in, and in order to do this, you're gonna follow the same thing. There's a tip. If you look at these holes, one is deep, one is not deep. And if you look at the pressure switch, this one is longer, this one is short. See, this longer goes on the deep side, the short goes of course on the small side. So we are going to work on this, replace it. You kind of hold it and push it until you hear a click noise. Let me double check that to make sure I'm right here. Yeah. So did you hear that click noise? It means that the pressure switch is good. And the next part we are going to do is we have to line up this motor opening area, the pump opening area. We want to attach it here. Let me check. This goes right here. Line this up, this lines up. You see this? Also double check this gasket to make sure this gasket is good. That's the sump gasket goes between the motor and the sump. Line it up and slowly work on it. I forgot to put this, but you can always put this back and no problem. You see these little small clips, they go at the back of the motor. Do that. And here they kind of sit like this. And then the screw goes from here, from the back to here to hold it in place tight. You want to make sure that those little two small nipples goes inside of that hole. There's a hole at the back panel. See the top one lined up, the bottom one too. Looks good. Check your gasket here, because sometimes when you push this end towards inside, it pushes this gasket, including that part, and then the dishwasher is gonna leak. badly. You also run your finger around it to the back. I can feel the back is not sitting okay, so I have to pull the motor out again. You can always add a little bit of water. I would not add soap or anything else, but water is okay, I guess. And now I'll try it again. Okay, so this time it's just perfectly fine. This is a big tip. If you don't follow this step, you're gonna do everything back again. So instead of doing everything twice or 3 times, be careful, take your time, go slow. It might be your first time, and then after that it's gonna be okay. Double check your wires that goes to the pressure switch, because sometimes when you're reinstalling the motor, it knocks out from there and it comes loose, and then once you put everything back together, you'll still have problem, and then you get confused and you may call a technician after that. So if you make mistake like that, you will be in trouble. Again, take your time, double check, and then you can do the rest. This is the wire for the motor. Do not forget to plug it in. These wires are for the heater, the drain hose, and when reinstalling this clamp, be careful to not install it the way I did it right now, because I'll show you. Right now it's touching the sump. The sump is not that strong. With vibration over time you will get a hole in here. Install it properly. Do not install it like I did. Maybe leave it this way. Looks good now. Ground wire. Your ground wire goes at the back of the motor, right there. It looks like when I was working on it, I kind of pinched it. You see that? The next part is the thick hose at the back. That hose goes on the middle spray arm. I found that this is the most trickiest one to reinstall back in, because on the top of the hose right here, it's touching the side panel. It's kind of tricky to reinstall back in, but take your time and you can do this too. And if you're having a hard time reinstalling this, then you have no choice. Take the stop panel off. There's a couple of screws on the front, couple of screws at the back, and then pull this out. You will have extra space to push this back and then bring it back in and reinstall it. back is important to get first, and then the front you can work on it slowly. I also have a special tool for these clamps, but this is not that bad that I have to use that tool. Looks good. Run your finger again at the back. Make sure you feel it kind of straight like this from the back. It's good. And then this one is the easy one. Pull it and push it back in until you see the lip of this rubber sits on that nipple. Looks good. Double check your work. Double check this one. Double check your wires, your grounds. This ground is sitting kind of funny, but you can always just stick it on the side here. It's not a big issue. Very good, sits okay. Very good, sits good. You remember that spot, that black discoloration? That spot that I show you goes straight under that hole where it was leaking. When we're installing this panel, I'll show you something here, it's important. You see that channel, that opening here? This opening. This lip of the bottom panel goes in there. At the same time, we got the same spot at the back. I got different screws, but the one that has a white flat like umbrella, this goes on the kick plate, and the rest, these screws, they go in there. To install the bottom plate, it's a little bit hard and tricky because it doesn't sit there properly. What you can do is I got this, wrap it on a cloth or something, pick up the dishwasher. When you're looking at the front, you see how nice the bottom plate sits here. It's supposed to sit like this. If it's not sitting like this, then you got problem. This spot also has to go at the bottom of the plate. I'll show you these pieces because the dishwasher is on its side and it's easier to show you how this is supposed to go in there. This kind of sits like this. So on this one, for some reason, it goes back and forth. It shouldn't be going back and forth, because when you push it in, that little small plastic holds it in place, so it will not let it go. What you can do is kind of hold it up like that and then push it in. The same thing, hold it from the bottom, that piece you hold it, or you can always stick a flat screwdriver like that. Goes in. I always take these out when I put the dishwasher on its side or when I'm picking it up, but the reason I take it out because when I put it on its side, there's a good chance I may break it. So to be on the safe side, I pull them out. Or you can always lift up the front leg and then all the pressure will come on the front leg. You're not going to break those, but this part can be broken easily. This piece also fell down from the back leg. It kind of sits like that here. And the adjustment of the back legs are from this screw. This screw, you can see it's for the spring. See, it adjusts the door. If you want the door to close faster and open harder, you can adjust this screw. But this screw is for the back leg. You can bring it up and down. When you pull the dishwasher out, it's nice of you to clean the back of it, even if the customer didn't ask, because it's a good idea to clean it, because how often the customer will pull out the dishwasher, you got a chance to clean it for them. They like this. Get a wet towel. Maybe if you got lots of garbage and debris at the back, you may want to vacuum it first, and then you can wipe it. Looks clean. Because the front feet are too high, the dishwasher is not going to go in, so I'm going to have to adjust it.